Hi, this is Karen Lucas with Lucas Group Realty. Today I'm at one of my favorite cafes called Deja Vu Cafe, located at 401 First Avenue North in St. Petersburg. Here I have the best chai tea latte I've ever had in my life, and she has fabulous food, breakfast, lunch, and sometimes dinners as well. And I'm actually here today with a business partner of mine, Tracie Mayo of Savvy Mortgage Lending. Tracie and I work together. When I have a buyer, I love to recommend Tracie to them because Tracie gives them excellent information and wonderful financing. Good morning, Tracie.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm great, having my latte.
So I like to talk about, just to educate buyers out there, how important it is to speak with a lender before you start shopping, even online and looking at properties. I get so many people calling me wanting to go look at houses, and the first question I ask is, have you been qualified by a lender if you're going for a mortgage? And a lot of them aren't, and a lot of them don't understand why that's so important. So maybe you can give our buyers out there some information about that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't understand, excuse me, really what they can qualify for. And I always recommend that they come to a mortgage broker and have that conversation so that they don't fall in love with the wrong price point home. I've seen buyers actually go out and start looking at homes, and they fall in love with the house, and it's $300,000, and really from a qualification standpoint they can only qualify for up to $200,000 or $250,000, and now they've got to start their search all over again.
And disappointedly, because now they've got to lower their price point and look at houses that are not as nice usually.
Yep.
The other thing to me that's important is they don't understand that there's insurance and other things that are going to be encapsulated into that monthly payment, and they're not adding that in.
Yeah, you've got the homeowner's insurance, you've got property taxes, and in some cases you have association dues like condo dues or homeowners association dues. And then you've also got private mortgage insurance, or PMI, if you're putting less than 20% down. So they really need to understand truly what their total estimated payment will be, and they want to make sure that they can feel comfortable with that payment as well.
Sure. And not only that, there's different types of financing. So sometimes if you're a veteran, you can get a VA loan, and you can do 100% financing. Or if you don't have enough money for your closing costs, you can do an FHA loan, which helps you get money from the seller. So all different programs out there.
Yeah, VA definitely is one of our best options. 100% financing, no private mortgage insurance, really great rates, and it's a great benefit to the people who do serve our country. And then you've got FHA, which, as you said, does allow for larger amounts of seller concessions or closing costs. We can also help with FHA lender paid closing cost as well, so it actually does benefit them to go that route as well.
And as an agent, it's so important for me to know what loan they want to go for, because there's regulations for FHA loans, for instance, in the condition of the property.
Exactly.
And I have to know that, especially when I want to write an offer up. And anyway, any offer I do write, I have to have a pre-approval attached to that offer, or if it's a cash buyer, proof of funds, because the seller's not going to look at you seriously if you don't have that with your offer. So super important.
Yeah, and the pre-approval, honestly, is a very easy process. I mean, we pull credit, we look at your monthly obligations relative to your monthly income, so that's a debt-to-income number that we have to keep you below. And it's pretty painless. It's a credit pull and me running some numbers, and we can generally get you that pre-approval letter within 30 minutes to an hour in most cases. If you are self-employed, it might take a little bit longer because we have to look at tax returns and all of that to confirm your income, but it's a pretty easy process.
A lot of people worry that it's going to pull their credit score down. Is that true at all?
It's not. You're going to have a hard pull on your credit, but that doesn't really affect your score unless you have lots of people pulling your credit. Or if you have a really low score to begin with, it could potentially pull the score down slightly, but you've still got to go through the process if you're really looking to buy the home.
Sure. If you're a serious buyer, these are the steps you need to take.
Exactly.
You also were talking to me, and I find it really interesting, for cash buyers, there's an alternative that they could pay cash for the property, but yet finance it in the end. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, it's called delayed financing. It's a Fannie Mae product, and so basically, as a cash buyer, they go out, they make an offer, they can close very quickly because it's a cash sale, and it might help them, as you know, to get the offer accepted by the seller. But then they can actually do what's called delayed financing and refinance up to 80% and get their money back out at closing. As long as they do that within 6 months of the initial closing, they can do that.
That's great. So that's good information for me, because I do have cash buyers sometimes that are on the fence if they want to pay cash, if they want to finance. So I love that option that they have with you. That's wonderful. Is there anything else you feel you'd like to chat about today?
No, I mean, I really do want to reiterate that it's very important that the buyer get pre-approved and that they work with someone that they trust and that they connect with. And they do need to understand property taxes and homeowners insurance and flood insurance and everything that's going to be part of that process. And we take the time to actually educate them and show them what their estimated taxes could possibly be. And I always recommend that a buyer not really focus on what someone else is paying in property taxes, because we are a homestead state here, and taxes can significantly go up on them when they buy their home.
It makes no difference what the neighbor's paying at all.
Exactly.
Just how many times has that house changed hands or that property changed
Exactly.
hands.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to mention is a lot of people that come from out of state like to use lenders from out of state. And what's your take on that?
I always recommend that you use a local person, because a lender from out of state is not going to understand everything about Florida rules and regulations, and especially about the property taxes and the flood insurance. And so if you use a local person, you know that you're getting good, solid local advice. And then, we're located in downtown St. Petersburg, so we work with everyone all over the state of Florida, but most of our clients are local Tampa Bay clients. And so they really just need to have that local touch.
What's your take on, because you're a broker, as opposed to, let's say, them going to a bank? What's the difference there?
The biggest difference between brokers and bankers are bankers usually have, they have retail rates. So we actually get to work with wholesale lenders. People don't go to a wholesale lender and get a wholesale rate unless they go through a broker. Otherwise, they're getting the retail rate that the banks offer, and the banks only have what they have available to them. Brokers have options for anybody and everyone.
Yeah, because you have much more leeway in the programs that you can offer,
Yeah.
as opposed to the bank is just going to offer their programs, and that's it.
Yeah, and we've got 15 lenders that we work with, so we've got something for everyone.
And how close do you work, like, with the underwriters as part of your lending process?
Yeah, we have direct contact with the underwriters for all of our lenders, so we know, we know exactly who we're working with, and we can pick up the phone and call those underwriters if we need to. We also have very good processors that actually stay in touch with everyone, and we actually update everyone weekly throughout the process on what we're doing.
I find that communication is the biggest challenge a lot of times with lenders, and a lot of times because there's a miscommunication somewhere, it delays the closing, and a lot of times that really can hurt the buyer, because if you have to extend your closing, sometimes the seller may not want to do that or might want money because of that. So it's so important to try and keep everything on track and on time.
Yeah, and that's what we do as mortgage brokers. We update both agents on both sides of the deal every Tuesday and give them an update on where we are in the transaction, so that everyone knows if there are any issues, they know what the issues are and how quickly we're going to be able to resolve it. Because you definitely don't want to miss your closing date, because the seller could potentially have a backup offer that might be a cash backup offer, and they may say, you know what, I'm not willing to wait. I'm just going to take the other offer.
That's right. And you are the main person that they stay in touch with through the
Yes.
whole process, which is so important. I find a lot of companies, you're the initial person, then it goes to someone else, and there's like a trail of different people
Yeah.
in the process of who to talk with, and it can be very frustrating because the buyer just doesn't know who to contact,
Yeah.
and it slows up the whole process.
Yeah, I mean, they will be put in touch with a processor who will be processing their loan, but I'm always the point of contact if they have any concerns or questions. And we like to tell people that we want to be your mortgage broker for life. So if you even after you get to closing, you call me if you have any questions about your current mortgage. You call me and we can talk about it, because I have contacts with every lender that we send the deal to.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, I love Tracie. I like working with her. Very professional, great company. And why don't you give your information out for people out there if they'd like to talk to you?
Yeah, so Tracie Mayo at Savvy Mortgage Lending. My email address is tracie@savvymortgage.com, and my telephone number is 727-877-5684.
Thanks a lot, Tracie.
Thanks.
Have a great day.